Natalie.
And I'm TJ.
And this is Warrior Showdown Season 2, Fight 8 of Round 1.
Yep, that's right. Viking versus Knight.
That is the awesome Ethan McDowell as our Viking. And
contrary to what you might have seen on some of the behind the scenes, that is me in the tin can.
It really was it was this, suits of armor are built specially for one person. And so there's really not that much flexibility in terms of size. And TJ actually modeled it for Master Blacksmith, Man-at-Arms Tony Swadden from here in Burbank, California. And so we knew he could fit into it.
It fit me well, and I was highly maneuverable in it, and it seemed like a good match. It was really important to me that we distinguish this fight from
Season 1?
Yeah, Season 1, because the Knight in Season 1 didn't have plate armor, and that was one of the things that we received a lot of criticisms about. So I just wanted to present the Knight in a different way, and also with a different weapon. Since out of all of the fights,
I love that job.
it is fun. This is one of the ones that not only could have happened in history, but did happen in history all the time.
Yeah.
So one of the challenges was, how do we present it in such a way that is not realistic? I love that highly stylized, over-the-top Warrior Showdown style, and to bring that, I wanted to find ways to elevate it, and that's with interesting, unconventional choreography and maybe some atypical weapons. So that's why the Viking has a hammer, and why the Knight has a flail.
And that flail is actually rubber.
It's true. Most of the weapons we use are metal, but even a dull metal flail would still tear up these shields. So we wanted something that would be safe to hit on the shield without doing a lot of damage to them. Well, the purpose for this piece in the choreography, where I hit him in the groin, not just because it's funny to hit somebody in the groin, and then subsequently the face, is because he hits a man in his two most vulnerable parts.
And
the
yet
groin and the
he
face.
keeps on kicking.
What's his response? He hits himself. He does more damage to himself than the Knight did to him in those two moves. So,
And you pulled this from history class?
yeah, my college history class professor said something that really stuck with me about the Viking berserkers, about how they were so intimidating that they scared their own guys. Like when they would run into battle, their own guys parted ways just to not get in their path. And they were hopped up on hallucinogenic mushrooms.
And naked, right?
And totally naked. And I'm sure Ethan would have been game, but you know,
We're keeping this
we wanted
non-army.
The armor's cool. And I know that Vikings don't wear horns, but that's how we perceive Vikings in our modern culture. If you look at like the Minnesota Vikings logo, he has horns. And I don't see any reason why a Viking couldn't put horns on it. And so we want to make it practical. So you see that little like bull charge that he uses, so he can try to use them not just to look a certain way, but to also try to skewer his guy.
It is kind of funny, actually, but ironic that Ethan is fighting a knight in this season where he was the knight in Season 1.
Yeah, I didn't think about that until we were doing the voting. And I realized, oh man, Ethan almost won round 1 as the Knight and lost. And so for him to lose to the Knight in round 2 would be so horrible. So even though it was super close, I'm really glad that the Viking won. Because I would have felt pretty guilty. And this was one of those fights that was not very polarizing. And I think it's because even though it was really close and it was 50-50, most people weren't sure who they wanted to vote for. Where in some, they definitively knew, oh, I definitely want this character over this character. They looked at this one and they were like, oh, I like Vikings, but I like Knights too. And so people wound up being pretty satisfied with either outcome. It also happens to be between the two endings, the one where there's the least differentiation. We liked the idea of just bludgeoning the heck out of them to no end with these shields. And so both of them, we just switch who does it when the other guy wins.
And you know, this being Warrior Showdown, it's totally not over the top for him to bludgeon 25
I asked Natalie during post, is this too many times? And until she said it was too many, I knew it wasn't enough. Because that's kind of like our Warrior Showdown motto, too much is never enough.
But you did actually do all of these takes practically. You didn't just repeat.
I'm pretty notorious for that, I'm not going to lie. We'll perform like 3 or 4 on the set, and then I'll repeat that 3 or 4 from multiple different camera angles. But with this one, we did perform that many, because I knew I was going to want to just go to the extreme. And this is so gross to me, but yeah, I think in some ways poetic, where he uses the knight's shield as his headstone. So it's gross,
Next round.
but yet kind of cool. And you get the blood-splattered shield. Those symbols on there, the W and the S are for Warrior Showdown. Obviously there's the Christian cross there, which represents the knight's commitment to God, and a callback to the Crusaders, which came many hundreds of years before. And then
That was our logo, company
Wolfpack logo for our company. So congratulations, Ethan. You might have lost as the knight, but you also defeated
One is
him.
the Viking.
And he brings some good energy for round 2 against that biker chick.
Yeah. So thank you for watching round 1. Stay tuned because we will be getting the first out hopefully soon.
Someday it will
For
happen.
round 2.
Obviously, we love you guys for sticking with us, and we hope to see you again very shortly.